Welcome back to the second part of this Blu-ray collection. Um, the first one should have been uploaded by now, so this is the second part right here. So I'll start with the Funkos. That is Chucky. Huge fan of Chucky. I think that's Betty Cooper from Riverdale, which I started watching. It wasn't a very good show. Uh, John Jay, College, Shot Glass, and Marsha Brady from the Brady Bunch. So let me get these Funkos and Funkettes out of the way, and then we can start with this roll. Once again, I'm going to start with the display box sets and then move to the top and then the main roll. Picked this one up in England. Anna and the Apocalypse, a really good Christmas horror comedy. So good, wonderful soundtrack. This is an excellent looking Blu-ray, and I had to display it. Love this film. Watch it for Halloween or Christmas, it doesn't matter. So good. Not a lot of people know about that one either. Okay, so Charlie's Angels, the complete series. I watched this fairly recently on TV, and then I realized they were coming out with a Blu-ray. Love this film. Love this series. Really good series. Such beautiful women in that series, and it also has the I think the 2011 Charlie's Angels as well, which I didn't like as much, but this series has this is a nice box set. Yeah. Another cool box set is the Chucky collection. Has Child's Play 1, 2, 3, Bride of Chucky, Seed of Chucky, and The Curse of Chucky. I love the Child's Play series, especially the first three. I really like those. Bride of Chucky's okay. Seed of Chucky I'm not a huge fan of, and Curse of Chucky I'm not that big a fan of either. But I like Chucky as a whole. Big fan of that. Child's Play is fantastic. I have another copy of that one somewhere. The Universal Classic Complete 30 film collection of the monsters, the classic monsters. It has Wolfman, Phantom of the Opera, Dracula, Invisible Man, Frankenstein, Mummy. Phantom of the Opera is just like one film, which is weird to include in this, but and the Creatures of the Black Lagoon. Last Halloween, October, the month of October, I watched one of these a day. I watched a bunch of films a day, but I watched like one of these a day, and so I've seen the entire series. A lot of them are good. Some of them are kind of hit and miss. It's classics though. Can't go wrong with classics. Another Arrow release. I don't have that many, but Mallrats. I have not rewatched this, but this is a pretty good Kevin Smith, earlier Kevin Smith film. Another Arrow. Now all the Arrows are gonna come out since I said I don't have that many. Creepshow 2. I like this one. It's not as strong as the first one. The first one has better anthology stories, but this is really nice packaging as well for this film. And then the last kind of box here is Cannibal Holocaust. I'm not a huge fan of this film. I don't really like the animal cruelty and stuff. Pretty violent film. Sort of like a found footage film, but I did like this release and I got it pretty cheap. So now we're gonna do the top rows and then go to the main thing. Hopefully this will go quicker. I know it was a little rough, that first video. Let's see if I can make this go quicker though. Alright, so Boys in the Hood. First up, picked this steelbook up pretty recently. Really good film. Standout performances from Cuba Gooding Jr. and one of the first performances of Ice Cube. I think that's a good one. There is the Breakfast Club, which is a classic. Saw this one on TV many years ago. Love this film. It's a classic. Most people will have it in their collection. There's not a whole lot to say, but this is a very memorable film. We got Bridesmaids. I thought this was pretty funny. A Paul Feig film. Yeah, I think there's good chemistry between the lead actresses in this one, and pretty good film. I like that one. I feel like my camera's out of focus. I don't know. I'm sorry. My phone's not that great. Bring It On. I have a lot of these. A few of these. Whatever I could find on Blu-ray. But I like this. I'm a huge fan of Kirsten Dunst. I've always had a crush on her. Still do. This is a pretty good cheerleading film. All or Nothing. I do like Hayden Panettiere. That's why I have this one. It's also not a bad film. And then I got this one for like $1. Bring It On. Worldwide. Hashtag cheers back. Not a very good film. That one sucks. Brooklyn, amazing film. Saoirse Ronan is fantastic in this. I think this is like Best Picture worthy. I know it didn't win, but she's so good in this film. This is such a wonderful, like kind of like heartwarming story. And I also read the book, and I think the book is also excellent. And the film kind of captures everything that the book had, anyways. That is a good. That's a good film right there. So let's go to this roll right here. So hopefully this is as easy as possible. All right, so The Brothers Grimm, picked this one up recently. Saw it a while back. I'm a big Heath Ledger fan. This is what's his name? Terry Gilliam. Not a great film, but I do like the Grimm stories. This one's okay. A Bug's Life. Disney Pixar released a bunch of these steel books recently, and I like this one. It's early Pixar. Really good film. Pretty underrated because when it comes to Pixar, not a lot of people talk about Bug's Life, I feel. Buffalo 66, a film by Vincent Gallo. Really good film. Yeah, I got this one early. I saw it in the store, picked it up. Very enjoyable film with Christina Ricci. I'm butchering everyone's name today. Buffy the Vampire Slayer. I got this and watched it recently actually as well. I like the film, and then I started watching the series. So I have the series on DVD. I'll show it later. Big fan of the series. Film is pretty good too. Kind of set up everything with. I'm trying to see if this was written by Joss Whedon. It was, yeah. So I guess he wrote this film, and then the series came about, and I really like the series. Bumblebee, the best Transformers. This is the best Transformers film probably out there, and it's like a spin-off for Bumblebee, but really good film. I like that one. If they did a sequel to that one, it'd be pretty cool. I like Haley Steinfeld in that one. A Coen Brothers film, Burn After Reading. One of my favorite Coen Brothers, probably. Really like this film. It's pretty crazy, pretty funny, like a dark comedy. The Burning. A lot of people compare this one to Friday the 13th. I think it's a pretty good slasher film, an 80s slasher film. So I think Scream Factory had a sale recently, and then I just picked up a lot of stuff there on that sale. So that's that. My arms are hurting. All right. Oh, really great South Korean film that came out pretty recently, like maybe 2018, 2017. It has Steven Yeun from The Walking Dead. Amazing film. I thought this was an incredible film, kind of open to interpretation near the end, but incredible film. These foreign films, they come out, and then you just gotta check them out because they're just so fantastic, especially now. Like, they're just making such good stuff. The Butterfly Effect, really good, really great concept, and I think it's done very well. Probably the best Ashton Kutcher film. I really like that film. Interesting idea on that one. By the Sea. This is an Angelina Jolie directed film with her then partner Brad Pitt. This is great for its cinematography. Wonderful looking film. Not a bad film either. Not that memorable, but not a bad film. The original Cabin Fever. I know I have to say the original Cabin Fever because they came out with another one with Eli Roth attached, which is so weird to me. But the original one with Ryder Strong. This one is great. I really like this film. Yeah. That's a good little horror, early 2000s horror film. Call Me By Your Name. I want to read the book of this. This is a fantastic movie. Very rewatchable. Yeah. This kind of brought Timothée Chalamet into... I'm sure he's been in things before, but that was like one of his standout works. A Netflix original, Cam. This is like a custom-made version. This should still be on Netflix. This is an amazing kind of erotic thriller about a cam girl's identity that's being stolen. I think Madeline Brewer is from Orange Is the New Black, but this is such a good film. I can't recommend this one enough. A lot of people don't know about that one. That one's so good. from the Scream Factory sale that I picked up Candyman. The new one looks pretty cool. Can't wait to see that. I don't even know when it's coming out, but that should be good. All right, the last of this top type row right here. All right, I'll just do it like that then. Okay. Can't hardly wait. Picked that one up recently. This one is kind of set. Most of it is set at one party, and it's got a pure 90s cast right here. Young Jennifer Love Hewitt, and Seth Green. Yeah, that's a good film. And then we've got some MCUs here. Ooh. First Avenger. They came out with the steel. Shit. God. All right, so they came out with these steel books pretty recently. Yeah, this one is good. It kind of started it all in terms of the Captain America films. Winter Soldier is a lot better. Really good film. Winter Soldier, the character Bucky Barnes, is one of my favorites in the MCU. I thought this film was very good, and I also really like Civil War. Although it's unfair to call it like a Captain America film because it has it's like a mini Avengers film really. But that's a good film, anyways. And Captain Marvel. I like this film. I really like Goose as a character. I really like cats. So, and then Career Opportunities. This came out pretty recently. Not like a very memorable film, but I like it. I like Jennifer Connelly in her earlier films. So that is all those top rows right there. So I could just move that out of the way and then get started on these titles right here. All right, so it's a tight squeeze, but we will start with Batman Begins. I have all three of the Nolan trilogy on Steelbook, and I really like this Steelbook. Yeah, Batman Begins is great. Started that Nolan trilogy off right. The Christian Bale, classic. Dark Knight, obviously, there was so much hype with this one when it came out. A lot of glare in the video, I'm sorry, but this is quite a good film. Heath Ledger's performance is fantastic, and it's tragic that he died soon after. Definitely deserved the Oscar for that one, and it was different at the time because the Oscars, they don't usually go with comic book films, but they simply couldn't ignore that one. Dark Knight Rises. A lot of people, kind of don't like this one. I think it's good. I think it closed off the trilogy just fine. And I don't know why I'm putting all of them on top, so then put them back in. BVS, Batman vs Superman, Dawn of Justice. It has its problems for sure, but not bad. When I saw this in theaters and then I saw it again, I couldn't really discern the difference between the extended cut, like the Ultimate Edition, and regular. I'd have to rewatch to see it. It is a long film though, but I really like Wonder Woman. I'm a huge Wonder Woman fan, so you'll see that later. Battle of the Sexes. Emma Stone, Steve Carell in A True Story about tennis. Really good film. Kind of slipped under the radar, but I like that one. And I'm not ashamed to say I really like this film, Baywatch. I'm a big fan of Kelly Rohrbach. She hasn't done many other films after, but that's a really good. I thought it was kind of like raunchy, but I'm a Baywatch fan, so I thought that was good. Bean the movie. Yeah, everyone loves Mr. Bean. This is a good film. I wish they released Mr. Bean's Holiday, I think, on Blu-ray. I don't think they have yet, but that's a good one. That's like a family film everyone can enjoy. Beasts of the Southern Wild. I didn't like this director's follow-up as much. I think it was Wendy. But Beasts of the Southern Wild is great. I think it has Kavanjane Wallace. I know I said her name wrong, but she's really incredible on that one. This one is a really great film. A lot of emotion packed into this one, and it's just shot so beautifully as well. Speaking of beautiful, a beautiful day in the neighborhood. Really good semi-pseudo biopic of Mr. Rogers. It has a little less to do with Mr. Rogers than you think. It's more about the journalist who's interviewing him. But this is a really good film. Tom Hanks really did a great job on that one. I like that film a lot. My favorite, animated Disney film is Beauty and the Beast. As you can tell from the Belle Funkos that I have up there, love this film. Seen it so many times. It's a tale as old as time. The live action remake was pretty good as well. I liked Emma Watson being cast in this. I thought this was. They probably added a little more into it, but I think it's enjoyable. Very rewatchable. That steelbook is also one of the better steelbooks I have in my collection. Beavis and Butthead Do America. This is like a custom made version. All these custom made ones, they work really well as well. But this is, I love Beavis and Butthead. I want to hold out on getting the series in case they do a Blu-ray down the road. I feel like they might. So, Mike Judge, man. Beavis and Butthead is fantastic. I love it. We talked about Beetlejuice earlier, but I do have the steelbook. I don't believe this is a 4K, but this is a pretty nice steelbook. Nice Tim Burton film, an earlier Tim Burton film. A really good kind of musical from the guy who did Sing Street, which I love as well. This one has Keira Knightley and Mark Ruffalo. I like this film a lot. Yeah. Well acted. The soundtrack is fantastic. That's like the main thing about that film. The soundtrack is so good. The Beguiled. This is a Sofia Coppola film. I'm a huge fan of Sofia Coppola. I have like everything she's done on Blu-ray. If it's on Blu-ray from her, I have it. Big fan of this, and it has a few of my favorite actresses. I love Kirsten Dunst and Elle Fanning. Yeah, I like that film quite a bit. I know. There's the original. I actually prefer that to the original. Being John Malkovich. Directed by Spike Jonze. Spike Jonze has some pretty great films. Being John Malkovich is a very unique film where they're in the mind of John Malkovich through like a portal. If you haven't seen this is great. It fully deserves its Criterion release. This came in a horror pack. One of the better horror pack titles to me because I didn't have it, and I actually like this film. It's like a horror film set in an office setting, so I thought it was pretty like relatable, being that it had that office setting. Bella de Jour. I always bad with these names, but Catherine Deneuve is in this film. She's just a bombshell. This is a really good film as well. Great Criterion to own. Criterion always do well with their releases, I think. The Benchwarmers. I don't have a lot of sports movies in my collection, and I'm not a fan of baseball, but this one was pretty funny at the time. So when I watched this back in like 2006, I thought it was really funny, and then I rewatched it like twice after. I'm like, I don't know what my humor standards were back then, but like these films aren't as funny now. But picked this one up recently. Ben Affleck 4-film collection. So this one has The Town, which I already have. Argo, which I didn't have, and I pretty much got this for that. And then The Accountant, which was okay, and Live by Night, which I like. That's another Ben Affleck directed film. Live by Night. Pretty good 4-film collection to have. I think all of them are good. The Accountant is probably the weakest in that one. Best Picture collection. Okay, so I'll tell you why I got this. So I have No Country for Old Men and Shakespeare in Love already, so I'll talk about those later. Crash just came with this. I think it's a undeserved Best Picture winner. It's not as bad as people say it is, but it's like kind of like Oscar bait, race bait kind of thing. It has its problems for sure. English Patient is pretty long, but not bad. I don't mind that film. I got this mostly for Chicago. It's a musical that I do like. So yeah, I got this for Chicago. The Best Years of Our Lives. This came out recently. I had seen this on like not the Criterion channel. What is that? Turner Classic Movies, TCM. And I really like this film. It's a long film. It has an actor here who's like a war veteran, so he doesn't, he's actually missing his hand from war, which I thought was pretty cool. That's a good film about people, three men that are coming back from war, and then like the changes in their life past wartime is like it follows that. It shows you that. It's a pretty good film. Better Watch Out. This is a nice one of those films where it's like you could watch it during Halloween or you can watch it during Christmas. It's like a good Christmas horror film, which is also like a black comedy. And there's a nice twist in that one. That's all I'll say. But that is one to check out if you have not seen it. Beverly Hills Cop 3-movie collection. I love Beverly Hills Cop. I don't know if I do have a little bit of Eddie Murphy in my collection. especially his older stuff, which I think is much better than his newer stuff. He's kind of had a revival with like Dolomite and stuff that he's doing now, but Beverly Hills Cop is the standout to me, and Coming to America, obviously. But these films are good. 3 is probably the least, my least favorite. But 1 and 2 are really good. 1 is fantastic. I love that. I love that series. I really do. This is from the director of Mandy. I'm not a huge fan of Mandy. His name is Panos Cosmatos, but Beyond the Black Rainbow I like. It's very loose, very imaginative, as it says. But the visuals in this are absolutely stunning, and I think it's better than Mandy. Beyond the Valley of the Dolls. So I have Valley of the Dolls with the V's down there somewhere. This is not really much to do with it. It's more like kind of like a smut, kind of semi-erotic type comedy film. But Criterion did it, so I got it. Big Eyes, really good Tim Burton film. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. Big Eyes is memorable because it's not like a weird Tim Burton film. It's more straightforward story about a man who steals his wife's paintings. Not steals, but like takes the credit for it and then gets the money from it. But it's a very interesting story. I like that one a lot. I'm gonna give an unpopular opinion. I'm not a huge Big Lebowski fan. There's things about it that I enjoy, but Coen Brothers have done way better, in my opinion. It's not, to me, it's not like it's not as memorable as people say. The Steelbook is nice. I like these comic book release type titles, and sometimes I'll get the classic and put it in my collection, and then I'll tell you if I don't like it. I'll be honest with like all the films here. Big Trouble in Little China, pretty good John Carpenter film. I like these slipcover releases that they did. I don't know if the inside has it. No, it doesn't look like it does. But anyways, pretty good film. John Carpenter has a lot of good films, and that's a good one with Kurt Russell. A Bigger Splash. I really like this film. This is from the director of Call Me by Your Name. No, it is not a sequel to Big or Splash. Nice cast, as you can see. I'm a huge fan of Dakota Johnson. Good film. Maybe not a lot of people have seen that one. I think you should. Birds of Prey. So let me tell you, I'm not a fan of Suicide Squad at all. I have that somewhere in my collection, and I'll admit it. I hate that film. But I think Margot Robbie was one of those actresses in the beginning. I thought she was nothing special, and she couldn't act well, or whatever the case is. But I changed my mind later when I saw more of the stuff that she did, like I, Tonya, and then the other films. Like, she's great in Bombshell as well. And then, with this one, I looked at it with that lens of Margot Robbie, being more talented. And this is a good film. Not as good as it can be, but pretty good film. I like Birds of Prey quite a bit. I don't mind it. I wouldn't mind if they did a sequel. And one of the standouts for this for me is I think this is one of the best steelbooks I have in my collection. It's beautiful. This thing is gorgeous. Like, I really like when they spend some time bringing out nice covers for steelbooks. It's really worth it. You pay extra for steelbooks, so why not make it as nice as possible? Black Christmas original. Honestly, I don't like this one as much as the sequel that came out in 2006. Not the new one that came out in 2019. I hate that one. That one was awful. But this one in 2006, I think it's 2006. I like this one a lot. So this one is not on Blu-ray. It's custom made. Like, I got a lot of these custom made titles here. But Black Xmas, I like that one better than the original one. The Black Dahlia, I think this is from Brian De Palma. Brian De Palma is one of my favorite directors. This is not one of my favorite films from him, but it's still great about the Black Dahlia murders. So I think it's just one. I don't know. I don't remember. But good film. So it has Scarlett Johansson in it before she got like super big with the Marvel. Black Narcissus. Oh, this film is incredible. Sorry if there's like a glare. I feel like my camera is not as clear as it can be, and I apologize. I wish I had a better way of doing this. Maybe next year I'll be more professional. But saw this one on Turner Classic Movies, maybe. I forgot where I saw it, but regardless, I saw it before, and I thought it was incredible. I think visually for its time, this is stunning. It's amazing. Great story as well. And then I had to pick it up I got it during one of the Criterion sales, but this is such a good film. Oh man. They did like a 3-part miniseries on FX, which is okay. But stick with the film, really. Black Panther, really good Marvel film. I think Black Panther was one of the more memorable heroes. It's such a sad thing. Chadwick Boseman passed early on in his life, but this is a great film. Culturally, it was so important, and I definitely understand that. I watched this in the theaters with my friends. I had a blast. I don't know where they would go with the sequel, but we'll see what happens, really. Black Snake Moan, a very weird film where Samuel L. Jackson is trying to chains Christina Ricci to in his house to like save her from bad man getting killed, drugs, alcohol, whatever the case is. But it's a weird film, but pretty good. Black Swan, one of the best from Darren Aronofsky. This is a really good film, very rewatchable. One of the best Natalie Portman performances that I've ever seen, and she won the Academy Award for that. I'll go ahead and say it's the best that she's ever been. I've never seen her be this good. Such a good film. Oh man, I mean, I can praise that one all day. Blade 1, 2, and 3. Blade 1, very enjoyable. Blade 2, the best one. I think this one is by Guillermo del Toro as well. I don't know, I might be mistaken, but I think that one is by him, and it has all of his hallmarks, so that's a good one. Trinity, not bad. I like Jessica Biel, I like Ryan Reynolds, not bad, but clearly the weakest. Blade Runner, the final cut. I'm so confused with all the cuts for this one. There's like so many different versions, right? But I have the final cut. This is the one that I've seen. I don't think I've seen any of the other cuts, if others do exist. Great film, great Ridley Scott film, very memorable, classic. And then 2049. So 2049 is fantastic. I love this film. Slow burn. It's longer. Not for everyone, but I think it's a really, really good sequel. In the beginning, I was thinking, why make a sequel to Blade Runner? It's so unnecessary. But when I watched this, I was like, yeah, this is great. I can live with this. Really good film. I almost fell asleep in the theater because we did like a midnight showing, and for some reason I thought the film was under 2 hours. I was like, oh, that'll be fine, and then it was really long, and I almost died watching it. Blair Witch. This is not Blair Witch Project. This is the sequel they came out. Not Book of Shadows. I think that was the second one, but the sequel they came out with much later by Adam Wingard. So I do have Blair Witch in a box set later, so I'll show that. But I hated this when I first saw it in theaters. I just felt like it was too similar to the original and doesn't really capture what made the original special, and just kind of goes down that same route. But then I rewatched it again, and I had like a change in opinion. I think as a movie watcher, you wanna rewatch things that you feel kind of questionable about, and then see if you like it. Because there's so many films that I've watched once, and then I had an initial impression and I hate it, and then I rewatch it. So one of my favorite films of all time, I'll go into that later. I watched it and I absolutely hated it, and then I rewatched it, and now it is my favorite film of all time. So I'll talk about that later. That should keep you guys tuning in for the rest of the videos, right? But that one's not bad. Blinded by the Light. I am a huge Bruce Springsteen fan. So it was nice to see his music incorporated in this story from the director of Bend It Like Beckham, which is also good. I wish that was on Blu-ray, but really good film. If you have not seen it, please watch it. If you're also a Bruce fan, please watch that. Bling Ring, another Sofia Coppola film. Big fan of her. I like this film a lot as well. It has a nice cast. Emma Watson. The true story of this like bling ring of people who were stealing from celebrity houses. I think one of them was Paris Hilton. I can't remember who else's house they went in, but pretty cool story, pretty good movie. Blood Diamond, really good film. Leonardo DiCaprio was in so many good films in the past. Like, he had these great performances, and he definitely deserved an Oscar. But I think he should have got it way before Revenant. And this could have been one of the cases where you can argue him getting it. I don't know who won it that year, but he was great in this. This is a really good film. Jimin Hansu was really great in it as well. Really good film. Blue Crush. I probably got this because I have a blue crush on Kate Bosworth, but this is a good film. It's not a bad film. There's a sequel that I always see in like the dollar store, but I don't know if that maybe it's good. I don't know. Maybe someone can let me know. I wouldn't mind watching it. These dollar store films, you know, I'll give it a chance. If it's good, you know, I'll keep it. If not, get rid of it. Blue is the Warmest Color. Really great Criterion Collection film. I'm sorry, but I don't remember which country this is from. It might be French. Yeah, I think it's French. Very erotic film, kind of like a lesbian relationship with Leah Sado and Adele. Can't say the last name, sorry, but that's a good one. Criterion, you know, if I had money, I'd own all the Criterions. I love their films. Blue Jasmine. Look, Woody Allen. I can't stand the guy. You know, he's a creep. He's a perv. He's an abuser. Everything about him off. Blue Jasmine is a good film. I got this a little before all the really bad allegations came out about him. But this is a good. Regardless of that, this is a good film. Kate Blanchett, one of her finest performances ever. An amazing character study there. Blue Valentine, saw this one in the cinemas, thought it was absolutely excellent. Ryan Gosling is great in this. Michelle Williams is great in this. This is like a very real type love story. It's like more of like a hate story. This is like a chaotic film, but Michelle Williams was really great in this, and I also think Ryan Gosling was. I'm a huge Ryan Gosling fan, and I think he's a good actor. But I'm just like, just give him an Oscar somewhere. Like, just let it happen. Bob and Carol and Ted and Alice. So I got this because I think Twilight Time went out of business, and they were having like a master sale. And then, you know, I picked it up because I like Natalie Wood. I've seen a bunch of her films. I have a few, maybe not a few, maybe like one or two more on Blu-ray. But this is not a bad film. I think this is another Twilight Time, but this is not one that I got with the sale. Body Double is a Brian De Palma film. One of my favorite films of all time, for sure. This has to be in my top 10. Absolutely incredible erotic thriller. This is the best Brian De Palma film for me, and he's done so many great things, so that's like saying a lot. Bombshell, I really like this film. I like these I really enjoy these news cast dramas, like true stories or whatever the case is, like set in a studio, like with the news and stuff. Bombshell is based on that Fox News scandal, and it's really great. Charlize Theron really looks like Megyn Kelly in this. Good film, very well acted. Yeah, like on the topic of those news type films, I watched The Newsroom recently, the Aaron Sorkin show. Thought it was incredible. Yeah, that had nothing to do with anything, but whatever. Bonnie and Clyde. Saw this a few times and then saw it again in film class. Love this film for its time. It was fantastic and controversial because it was violent for its time. Young Faye Dunaway and Warren Beatty. This is a nice little digibook. Yeah, that's a good one. Book Smart. A lot of people call it the female Superbad, but I think this is it is a very reminiscent of Superbad. You can't lie about that. But Olivia Wilde's directorial debut, really great film. Caitlin Dever, I think is her name. She's from Justified, which is a fantastic show. And then Beanie Feldstein, Jonah Hill's sister. She's great in this as well. This is a really good film, very funny. Boogie Nights, got this one when I was in England, as you can tell by those weird 18 logos. Boogie Nights is a really good PTA, Paul Thomas Anderson film. One of his best. Maybe I know which film from him I like the most, but they're all so good. The Boondock Saints, got this recently. You know, I like this a lot more when I was younger and I saw it, and then I rewatched it recently and I was like, you know, it doesn't hold up as well. Sometimes, you know, you revisit things and it's like, oh yeah, not as good as I thought it was. Bottle Rocket, I don't want to say one of Wes Anderson's best, but one of the ones that I enjoy the most from him. It's his first film as well. Has a young Luke Wilson and Owen Wilson in it. I like that one. The Box. I have a Twilight Zone box set somewhere. I love Twilight Zone. Even like the new incarnation that they did, and this was based on one of those stories. They stretched this film out for sure, but I like it. It gets a little weirder near the middle, and then you feel like they could have made it shorter. But you know, I like Cameron Diaz. The concept is pretty good. Got this for cheap, so that's that. So that is this roll. Hope you enjoyed that video. I'll probably make one more today, so just stay tuned.